Good evening out there in Avalanche country. I'm your host, King Cole, joined today by the Blood Oath Gregory Doudna. First and foremost, welcome to our pregame edition of the InTheCrease podcast and live show. We are live right now, and I'd like to give a shout out to our partial sponsors, Coda Bear Creations, located here in Denver, Colorado. Coda Bear Creations can personalize hats, t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, keychains, cups, mugs, and much, much more to meet your personal desires. Head over to their Facebook page, check them out, and see all the awesome designs and products that they have. We send a hearty thank you to the Coda Bear Creations team in creating our RMSR and 5280 Zone merchandise. If you're interested in any of that merchandise, please reach out to Matt Staffiero on our Facebook page for more information. All right, Greg, here we are. It's Game 4, Avalanche game day in Las Vegas. The Avs are coming off of a 3-2 loss in which they were outshot during the game, but did not start losing this game until late in the third period. As we did not discuss in our post-game show on Friday night, Jared Bednar did not have some kind words for this Avalanche team in the locker room.
No, he was upset, and rightfully so. I mean, this is the best team in the league. This is an Avs team that has been put together over the span of years to be exactly what it is right now, and they're not playing that way. So Coach Bednar definitely ripped into to quite a few people, especially the top line. And like I say, it's rightfully so. Bednar has every right to be pissed. And same with fans, same with everybody. The players, and I guarantee those players are just as mad as anybody else with how they're playing right now. So let's hope that it's kind of like what happened early in the season, where there was a kind of a team meeting and a lot of stuff got said that probably was not very kind to people, but very much was the truth, and kind of got everybody back on the same boat and back on the same track, and got this team rolling again. So let's hope it's the same outcome.
Absolutely, 100%. And you spoke on it right there. This Avalanche team was built from the ground up, and this is looking like a team that is destined to win at least one or two cups, depending on contract situations. If we go back to that 2015, 2016 season, it was not kind to the Colorado Avalanche, as former head coach and former Avalanche player Patrick Waugh basically washed his hands of this team and walked away from coaching, which led to the hiring of Coach Jared Bednar, who is now one of the longest tenured coaches in franchise history for the Colorado Avalanche and has been successful at every level. And he is a mere 10 games away from achieving that ultimate goal of leading an NHL team to the Stanley Cup title. So let's hope we get one game closer after tonight's game. Mm-hmm. As we said, that game is set to go off at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Time, and should be on after the conclusion of the Montreal Canadiens and Winnipeg Jets game. Montreal currently leads that game 3-1 during the second intermission. Some additional news for you guys as we are live. We are now on YouTube. We are on with the Rocky Mountain Sports Reports YouTube page. We've got that all set up. So you can now watch us through the YouTube and the Facebook. I have updated our podcast stuff. We are available on a ton of different podcasts. I will list those in a future episode. You could even listen to us in India on a podcast now. Isn't that kind of neat? Crazy stuff, man. I was like, whatever podcast that Spreaker has available for us, we are on it, except for, I think, Apple Podcasts and something else. But we are rocking and rolling here in the crease and our Rocky stuff.
Thanks,
trying
Sidney.
to spread the word. Yeah, thanks, Sidney. We really appreciate it, man. We are trying to spread ourselves as globally as possible, with very little financial income. So,
Right.
So some quick keynotes of the game, things we want to see continuing and everything else. Mikko Rantanen, this guy is on fire, Greg. Walk us through this streak that he's on.
It's absolutely crazy. I mean, over the course of the last 17 playoff games, he is on a 27-point streak. The dude is just absolutely nuts. And hopefully, like you say, it's something that we see continue. It's something that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to, as he has kind of been that catalyst when we need something. He won game 2 in overtime. He gave us the lead in game 3. So he's definitely been such a major part, and when the top line has been struggling. I mean, they only recorded 4 points combined between games 2 and 3 after recording 8 points in game 1. They've kind of hit a little bit of a skid, but Mikko seems to keep being that constant, that person that everybody can kind of turn to really make the big play that's necessary, and get this team to where it needs to be in order to win some games. Definitely something we're going to be looking forward to is seeing if he can continue that streak tonight. I certainly have my fingers crossed. I have a good feeling he will. He seems to be the person that can solve Marc-Andre Fleury no matter what. I mean, when we're talking about a series that involves 2 of the 3 finalists for the Vezina Trophy, you need absolutely everything to be working for you. And for right now, Mikko Rantanen is the thing working for the Avs against Marc-Andre Fleury.
100%. And you put it perfectly. 2 of the top 3 finalists for the Vezina Trophy this season are in contention in this series. Andrei Vasilevsky is the other one. Here, let's go over some keys to the game. And David Slade, he kind of segues into that with his question that he has here. What do we, as in the Avalanche, have to do to get more pressure on Fleury? It seems like we are getting held up at the blue line and just dumping the puck. That is very, very true. The Vegas Golden Knights have been pretty on point with slowing up the Avs at the blue line and putting a lot of pressure there. And you're seeing a lot of hack and slash on MacKinnon when he's skating in with the puck and everything else. They are trying to slow us up because that is the Avalanche game. The Avalanche need to adapt that game just the tiniest bit. I'm not saying dump and chase, blah, 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 but you need a little more sneaky with the puck when crossing into the zone and get Vegas off their game. Vegas has set up this wall at the blue line of the defensive zone, and the Avs have had a difficult time getting across it. So hopefully the Avs are able to change that, because if they don't, it's going to be another long game, and my stress level is already significantly high after games 2 and 3. I am very hopeful that the Avs can kind of lessen that and get and maintain a 2-goal lead. One of my biggest keys to this game is shots, man. Shots on goal. I wish I had the soundtrack for shots. Because that's what they need to do. It just needs to sound like that. Shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. We saw it in game 2. We saw it in game 3. Marc-Andre Fleury, if you get him a little frazzled and you just put shots on goal and take some of those rebound shots, he's going to give up a juicy rebound, and he's going to be out of position. We've seen it. It happened earlier in games yesterday, and then I think earlier in the Montreal Canadiens game, they got a goalie out of position and scored a goal. So you get the goalie off their game with shots on goal, rebound shots happen, you're going to score goals. That's my biggest key to the game, is changing up your attack into the blue and into the offensive zone and shots on goal.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's going to be on top of the shots on goal. It has to be offense generated by your defense. That's what I said in our post game after game 3. That's where we set ourselves apart from the NHL and every team that's a part of it. Our defense is the greatest offensive generating defense that there is in the NHL. We need to get them in position to where they can take shots. And, it's like, Big Hirsch said at the pregame of game 3, after a while, man, it starts to hurt. When you are just taking puck after puck and you're blocking all these things, eventually you're not going to want to do it anymore. So if you can keep that going, if you can keep Cale Makar, Devon Toews, Sammy Girard, up at the point, either, right point, left point. Again, it's something that I brought up after game 3. Change up the angles a little bit rather than always trying to get directly straight on line with the goal. Change up the angles, move to the top of the right circle, move to the top of the left circle, but take those shots from the point. Our team is absolutely dominant when their offense is being started from the blue line in rather than the goal line out. It's something that sets us apart from everybody else, and it's where we really struggled in games 2 and 3. In that first game, Cale Makar alone had 4 shots on goal. Devon Toews had a shot on goal. Even Ryan Reaves can get in there. He's got a damn fine slap shot when he can get a good piece of it. Get that going. the more that you throw those pucks towards the net and the more that you do it from that length, again, you have, Alec Martinez, who leads the league in block shots, but you keep making him block those shots. Eventually he's not going to, eventually he's going to catch one that stuns him for a little bit and takes him off of a shift, or, makes him miss a line. And that's what's going to give you that opportunity.
Quick little update for you guys. One of our fellow staff, David Slade, has set up a cool little deal for you guys over on our Rocky Mountain Sports Group page. If you go on there and give us your game prediction, and as a tiebreaker, who will score the game-winning goal, the closest person, I believe, on there will receive an InTheCrease t-shirt.
Nice.
So head on over to Rocky Mountain Sports Report and get your game predictions in right there and get one of our fantastic t-shirts for free.
Hell yeah. Yeah, thanks, David. That's a really cool thing you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, man.
But
didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to share that information.
You're good. That's really cool. But yeah, so for me, that's the key of the game. Get the defense to start the offensive pressure. And so, David, to answer your question of how do we get more pressure on Fleury, do what we've been doing. Do what we're really good at. Get people in front of the net. Shoot that puck from the point. That's where we absolutely thrive. That's where we set ourselves head and shoulders above the rest of the NHL. You just got to get back to it, and you have to do that.
Yep. Also, David would like you guys to know that those prediction opportunities will lock at puck drop. So you guys have about 35 minutes to get those predictions in order to qualify for the InTheCrease t-shirt that is up for grabs with the predictions game tonight. So get those in soon, guys. And get one of the shirts. I plan on buying myself a couple of those shirts so I can spread the news of our stuff. Sidney Schou has a great question. How do we feel about Ryan Reaves returning tonight? He is done serving his 2-game suspension for his actions in game one, I believe? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, game one.
And he says Vegas seems to be playing better without him. Do they bring him back up into the lineup or leave him out? Ryan Reaves is a nuisance for teams, and I firmly believe he'll be back in the lineup. I don't know who they're going to sit. It'll probably be somebody on their third or fourth line. That's where Reaves kind of fits in a little bit. I didn't necessarily look at the lineups. Let's see if the lineups are up. Yes, here we go. Ryan Reaves is in, playing on the fourth line with William Carrier and Patrick Brown.
Okay, so it's like Sikora back out.
Yeah, they took Sikora down. And put him on the taxi squad. So Ryan Reaves is definitely somebody in there. He'll play some quality minutes on that fourth line. He's a very agitative type player, so I see him possibly getting some defensive opportunities against the top line and stuff like that. And if you're the Avalanche, I would play that to your advantage. Reaves is looking to make a statement in this game, and if you can kind of gild him into taking a stupid penalty, he'll take a stupid penalty. So play it up, guys.
Yeah.
Do what you can to get him off his game. He hasn't skated in 2 games or like game time play. So a little bit of rust, but it won't be much.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I despise the guy, but again, I don't like dirty players. The sport is dangerous enough without that type of crap. So haven't been a fan, never was, even when he was with my beloved Pittsburgh Penguins. I wasn't a fan. My biggest thing with Ryan Reaves returning is it's exactly like Sidney said. Vegas is a better team without Ryan Reaves. That is hands down a through and through fact. They play better because they don't have that thing that they can rely on to spark them if things start to go a little sideways. So they don't let themselves get in that position. Ryan Reaves is there to hit someone in the face. He's there to that's what he's there for, is just to start riling up the other team, get his team fired up. And so when he's not there, they know they can't play into that. They can't let themselves fall behind. They can't let themselves get into a situation where they no longer have that player who can come out and spark the crowd and get everybody fired up to where it kind of turns the tables for them. So they have to play better. So that's something.
Hockey without Ryan Reaves from the Vegas Golden Knights. I firmly hope that his presence is going to throw them a little off their game.
Yeah, same, exactly same. So that's something that the Avs absolutely have to play into, is that you can look back throughout his time with Vegas, and Vegas has always been better without him. It's just you have to figure out how. You have to figure out how to get him, like you said, goad him into taking penalties. He absolutely will. He will do something stupid. He does in every single game. He'll do something a little dirty. You have to watch out for that. You have to be safe. You have to keep yourself away from vulnerable positions when you're dealing with him, but do it. Make him do something stupid. Get him to punch you in the face right in front of a ref. They might not call it every single time. The refs are really good about not calling things every single time, but get him off his game. Get him to do something stupid so that you can take advantage of that. Because on top of that, the Avs power play right now is sitting at the top of the league with 44%. That is absolutely insane. Take advantage of those situations. Get them to do something stupid and then capitalize on the power play like you've been doing all playoffs long. You have to figure out how. He's obviously a smart person. He's not going to just straight up, come out and give you a penalty. You have to earn that. You have to draw that out of him. But if you can do that, as we've now said multiple times, Vegas is better without him. They will start to, kind of fall down a little bit with him doing stupid stuff, putting them at a disadvantage, giving Colorado the power play, or just simply doing something that, fires up the Avs. As we've seen, it started game 1 against St. Louis. Braden Shen did something stupid. Gabriel Landeskog said, nope, you just screwed up. That fired up the team, and we were able to sweep. Every time the Avs have kind of gotten kicked in the teeth a little bit, it's been to the benefit of the Avs. So make him do that to you.
Absolutely, 100%. A couple more things, and then we're gonna head off, as this is only about a 30-minute show. Pre-game stuff. Yeah, I hope the Avs don't go hunting for Ryan Reaves. I don't think there's a reason to. Yeah. Bednar's probably preached that to the team and been like, dude, let him do his things. If he wants to be stupid, let him be stupid. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I hopefully it goes that way. Bit of news released by the NHL earlier today. The Canadian government and its different territories have approved the border exemptions for the NHL ahead of the Stanley Cup semifinals, which is the third round. U.S. teams would not have to quarantine. It is currently mandatory for anybody traveling into Canada to quarantine for 14 days, regardless of negative tests, just for precautions and everything. They will follow their bubble protocols similar to what they had last year for the playoff bubble, with rink and hotel accommodations only, no going out and enjoying a nice dinner and blah, blah, blah. So nice to see the Canadian government's kind of lessening some of their restrictions ahead of potentially opening up to the general public. One more question here for you, Greg. Mm-hmm. Could the Conn Smythe Trophy potentially go to a goaltender this season? We are starting to see some impressive goaltending from not only Philipp Grubauer, Marc-Andre Fleury with the Vegas Golden Knights, but surprise, surprise, Carey Price of the Montreal Canadiens is playing fantastic. And this is a team that's playing with house money right now, and Carey Price is just slamming the door shut. They're ahead 3-1 about middle of the third period right now. And I'm not sure how many shots he's faced, but he is shutting down this Winnipeg Jets team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting, man. It very easily could. I would love it to, as we have talked about at length multiple times. We are goaltender lovers. That's just, we're all about our goalies. Hence, InTheCrease. I mean, it's what we love to see. So it would be fantastic. The only thing that I will throw in there, Nathan MacKinnon, man. If the Avs do what we expect them to do, if they win this series, if they win the semifinals, if they win the cup, Nathan MacKinnon is going to probably be the biggest part of that, even with Philipp Grubauer playing out of his mind. I appreciate you pulling that one up. Yeah, Nathan currently sitting at 13 points, tied for second with Steven Stamkos. He's only behind Nikita Kucherov because clearly that man is just a machine, and it's just not even fair. But he's currently sitting with 8 goals, which puts him in first place. It's just he is that absolute catalyst for this team, that even though Mikko is kind of what's keeping the team alive, he's what has kept this team in a position to win game 2 and almost win game 3. Nathan MacKinnon is what will take this team to that next level when he gets going again. When he's the one putting the puck in the net, when he's the one getting the assists, he is what drives this team to that other level. Grubauer is playing phenomenally. He is absolutely, at this moment, my Conn Smythe winner. However, it will take a real kind of disconnect from our scorers, from our defense, for Philipp Grubauer to really have an opportunity to win the Conn Smythe. If we are going to get into the position of winning that Stanley Cup, it's going to take the top line. It's especially going to take Nathan MacKinnon. Obviously, it's going to take Grubauer, but he would do it anyway. If he could just win every single game outright, he absolutely would. So that's why I feel like probably not the best chance for the Avs. That being said, if what none of us want to see happen and the Avs get knocked out either this round or next round, most likely against Montreal because of the way that they're playing, I think it goes to Carey Price, hands down. The man has had some struggles in the past couple of years. He hasn't been the Carey Price that we know and love, but he has absolutely come back with a fiery vengeance and said, I'm not done yet. People were starting to finally count him out. A lot of talk was happening in off seasons and even during the season of, okay, let's ship Price out of here. Let's start getting that capital back.
I was one of those people when the playoffs started. I was like, Montreal doesn't have a chance with Toronto and Edmonton being there, and Winnipeg was another valiant team. I called out Connor Hellebuyck as being, if he's his playoff form, Winnipeg Jets are going to do phenomenally well. I didn't give a single shred of credit to the ability of Carey Price and what he's been in his pretty fantastic NHL career as a goaltender, and he's proved me extremely wrong so far here in the second round of the playoffs, as the Montreal Canadiens are 12 minutes away from a Game 3 victory ahead of tomorrow night's back-to-back game.
Yeah. So, I think if Montreal is your Stanley Cup winner this year, it goes to Carey Price. If the Avs win, it's probably going to be Nathan MacKinnon, again, barring some weird, crazy shenanigans and, maybe Mikko becoming the breakout star. But again, because of what they're going to have to do in order to get the Avs into that position, I think that takes away from Philipp, as much as I hate to say that, because I'm going to pop this one up. Philipp's currently sitting second in goals against average, but he is first remaining. First was Jack Campbell, but obviously he's out, so that goes to Philipp now. And he's in first with a 941 save percentage. Those numbers are nuts. And he's playing out of his mind.
Considering the amount of shots he's been facing, these stats are phenomenal.
Exactly. I mean, he is just getting peppered game in, game out, especially with these last two. I mean, we have given him no chance to win these games, but he's been giving the Avs the chance. So, we'll have to see. If some crazy thing happens and Nathan just does not kick up again and Mikko starts to kind of level out, it could. But I don't see us moving on if that's what ends up happening. So, like I say, that's the situation there. And then, it then ends up with, what about if Tampa Bay repeats? Vasilevsky's amazing, but again, sorry, I almost said Braden Point. Nikita Kucherov is sitting with 17 points in first place. Steven Stamkos.
Yeah. They lit Carolina up last night. It was not a great game for the Carolina Hurricanes. I believe on their. They were on the road. It was 6-4. I will say this: that second period was phenomenal. 8 total goals scored in that game, and it was just back and forth. Carolina had a 2-goal lead. They went into the second intermission down 5-4.
Yeah, yeah, that was a ton of fun. But yeah, so again, if Tampa Bay repeats, I think it then ends up going to either Nikita or Steven Stamkos or even Victor Hedman. He currently leads defenseman in points. So they have too much going on. Between the Avs, between Tampa Bay, there's just too much going on at other places that I don't think it goes to a goaltender. But boy, would it be fun to see. And if it's Montreal, then absolutely Carey Price deserves it.
I think it's highly entertaining to see that when you can have a goaltender in the conversation for the Conn Smythe Trophy in the Stanley Cup playoffs. There's obviously a number of criteria that it would take for a goaltender to be in that situation. You're talking playing almost every single game, even on nights where you might lose a game 1-0 to a better goaltending performance. But you're talking multiple shutouts in each round. You're talking a high number of shots seen per game. Just phenomenal saves left and right, and these games not necessarily being blowout games, being 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 wins throughout the entire playoff series, and getting up into the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, you could even have a goaltender win that award and not make the finals with multiple shutouts in the first 3 rounds, and going 7 games each round. Yeah. God forbid, but it can happen. Montreal just scored on a power play. 8 seconds into their power play, it is now 4-1 Montreal in Game 3. 11:08 left in that game. There will be a Game 4 tomorrow night between these two teams as the Scotia North Division is trying to play catch-up. As Sidney says, power play goal.
Yep. That's just a spooky team, man. I mean,
I looked up because I saw a flash of red on my TV, and I was like, oh, that's a Montreal goal.
Yeah.
Red between Hellebuck's pads. Just kind of this is horrible.
Yeah.
Any comments on how Scheifele handled the suspension? I don't know what he said in his media address or anything else like that, but the fact that he hasn't come to try and challenge it or anything else, I think speaks volumes for him. Mark Scheifele is not a dirty player by any means. He is a driven, competitive type person, and I think he understands that his actions in that game and the hit on Jake Evans were kind of inexcusable, and he could, in like hindsight being what it is, he probably could have played that a little bit differently and gone after the puck a little bit more than going for the hit to knock the puck off. He's in the press box for the Jets watching the game and everything, and I bet he wishes he could be in the game because his team might get swept before he sees the ice again. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, then I think he has one additional game to serve at the start of the next season.
Yeah.
So it's a tough position for a player like Mark Scheifele's caliber to be in, and I think he's taken this suspension with a little bit of humility, I guess I would say.
So I will say that him not challenging it was good. I did actually hear his comments. I did listen to his press briefing, and he was actually pretty, I'd say a little meh about it, because he actually complained about it. He was saying, oh, this is, it's just way too much. This is kind of an egregious penalty to him, or punishment. He did say that he did accept that a punishment was deserved, which was good to hear. That is something that I am absolutely a fan of. Own up to your crap. If you mess 100%. Up, own up to it. But he did get kind of, I don't want to say whiny. That's not really the right word. This is a grown man, professional athlete. He's not whiny. But
a little disgruntled maybe, but not.
Yeah. But he did, say some stuff that was like, man, like, take it on the chin, admit that you're wrong, what you did, but then leave it there. He did kind of, go on a little bit too much of, I don't really think it's fair. This is a bit much, but at the same time, I will say the fact that he's not challenging it is good, but
we're starting to see his team unravel on the ice as we speak, as Montreal is going back on the power play.
Oh no.
I think it was an elbow in the corner. So it's his team's not doing so hot.
Yeah. But so that's my take on it. Is he did get a little, the comments he made were a little kind of egregious, but not too bad. The one thing I will say though, and this is kind of an over-encompassing thing, because something that he brought up, his family has actually been getting like death threats and stuff because of it. That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. If do not be that type of person. Like, I just that was one of those just mind-blowing things, that he had brought up, because he was like, he's like, I think the punishment is a little harsh, blah, blah. He's like, but it's whatever. The thing that bugs me about this is the fact that, people are calling my parents, people are calling my sister, people are calling, my, just my family, and are threatening them. That is just, guys, that is just disgusting to me. So, if you're not that type of person, thank you. You're a good human. But man, if that's the type of person you are, you
cannot blame the actions of a competitive sport in one person and take all that stuff out for his family. So last thing before we get going, David Slade wanted to get our predictions in. Greg, I'll let you start. What is your prediction for tonight's game?
I'm thinking 2-1, man. I'm seeing a goaltender battle in this one. Fleury played out of his mind in Game 3 to be able to give Vegas the chance. Granted, we didn't really pressure him much, but when he needed to rise to the occasion, he did. And Grubauer, I don't see that man slowing down anytime soon. He has been the absolute stud of this team. in our time, just kind of struggling in these last 2 games. So I'm going to go 2-1. I think Mikko continues his point streak. And I'm going to give Brandon Saad another goal just because he lost his streak of goal scoring, and it was really, really sad. I think he's going to get one. I'm going Brandon Saad, Mikko Rantanen, our goal scorers, and we're winning this game 2-1.
Game-winning goal going to...
Ooh. Cal McCarr there. Game-winning goal going to Brandon Saad.
Brandon Saad with the game-winning goal. Yeah. I am going 3-2 in favor of the Avalanche in another close game. My game-winning goal being Mr. 877 goals now, JT Comper.
I like it. That's good.
Another close game. I think with a little bit of a lineup shakeup, you see Mikko Rantanen does extend his point streak this game with an assist in this game, probably on the power play. I am hopeful, but I do see JT Comfort getting the game-winning goal tonight, and I'm hoping for the best, guys. This should be a tough, competitive game. 7 minutes left in the Montreal game. With that, we are going to call it good. I unfortunately have to get to work here in the next 30 minutes, so I will not be there for the post-game show. Those duties fall solely to Mr. Gregory Doudna, who will be with you guys after the game tonight. I will chime in when I am able, but let's go Avs. Let's go out there. Let's get a Game 4 win. Let's split this series in Vegas and come home for a game on Tuesday night. The next 2 games, Game 5 and Game 6, are scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday later this week. Game 5, which is going to happen, will be June 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. And if necessary, June 10th. Time has yet to be determined for that game, as we are unsure if it's necessary yet. We will find out tonight how necessary Game 6 is. If the Avs get the Game 4 win, it comes down to what happens in Game 5 before Game 6 is scheduled. But it will be Thursday if it is to happen. All right, guys, that's going to do it for our show. Our pre-game show, post-game show after the game, that should happen somewhere around possibly 10 o'clock tonight. So tune in as Gregory Doudna goes live and discusses all the statistical stuff that happens, the goal scorers and all that stuff, and all the bull crap that may happen during the game later on tonight. Until then, for Gregory Doudna, the Blood Oath, be good people. And for myself, King Cole, be excellent to each other. And we will see you guys. Or Greg will see you guys later tonight. He's got his McCarr jersey on. I'm
stoked on what David's saying.
I got my Landeskog Nordiques jersey. I'm going to wear that. It is undefeated in playoff hockey so far. My jersey the other night was not very successful.
No.
All right, guys. Have a great one. That's going to do it for us. Greg will see you guys later tonight, and I will see you guys in a future podcast episode when I am able. Have a great night, everybody, and let's go Avs.